Bring excitement into your February this President's Day at the Norm Reeves Superstores. Right now is the best time to get the super prices you deserve. Shop our super selection of vehicles at 11 convenient locations. From West Covina to the Cerritos Auto Square, Huntington Beach to the Irvine Auto Center, Vista and San Diego. You're never far from a Norm Reeves Superstore. Shop America's most popular brands: Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Genesis, Volkswagen, Toyota, and Honda. We have all your favorite new models in stock for the new year. Looking to trade? We want to buy your vehicle. Any make, any model, any year. Plus, enjoy total peace of mind with your purchase thanks to our exclusive price protection guarantee. If you can find the same new vehicle for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. It's that simple. Take a test drive today at the Norm Reeves Superstore location closest to you, like the #1 Honda retail dealer in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square, or shop online anytime at normreeves.com. Per AHM retail sales in 2023, retailers based on sum of regular retail sales.
Welcome to the Awakening Women podcast. I'm your host, Leanne Oaten, and former therapist with a background in counseling psychology. This podcast is for strong, high-achieving women who want more in their lives and relationships, who are ready to rise to the next level of growth, healing, and evolution. Nothing changes until you change. And when you change, everything else changes around you as a result. If you're done with feeling powerless within the chaotic and toxic dynamics in your relationship and don't even know where to begin with making changes, I've got you covered. I know you've tried everything, including counseling, watching hours of videos, and reading stacks of books on narcissism, and find that all it does is leave you feeling even more stuck and in the same place. None of these things work when you're living with a narcissistic spouse because the root causes of the symptoms are not being addressed. As with physical health, there is an emotional, physical, spiritual, and psychological component to healing and overcoming the problematic symptoms and pain you're facing every day in your life and relationship. If you're ready for a direct, no fluff, no nonsense approach to take you into your personal power and take back your life, you are in the right place. Let's get started with today's episode. Once you leave a relationship with a narcissistic ex, you have to be prepared for all of the ways that they will continue to try and hook you back in or mess with you or take advantage of you or manipulate you. Many women think that if they leave, that means all the problems will be over. Many women also think that they have to fear what is on the other side. And I think that it is important to realize that your fear is there for a reason to protect you. Your fear is probably right, that there is going to be some things on the other side that you need to think ahead of and plan for and be ready for. And what I can say is, I think the biggest thing that we need in this case is the right kind of support, the right kind of anchor, the right kind of touch point from someone that can be level-headed. They're not emotionally mixed up in it, that they understand it, that they are able to think more logically and help you navigate what's coming, because oftentimes it gets worse before it gets better. It gets worse as you leave. It gets worse in those first couple of years. I've found when I've spoken to women, they'll say it takes about 2 years after leaving to find your equilibrium and kind of have all the kinks smoothed out and things resolved. But if you have young kids, that could be even longer because you're having to deal with this person on an ongoing basis, unfortunately. So having the right kind of support and community from those that get it, having a coach, and hopefully a coach that has some background. I have a background in counseling psychology. I was a therapist and counselor for about almost 7 years. I had a local practice, and then I decided to move that online so I could work with women all over the globe, and that is exactly what I do. And I help them get empowered and to feel like they are able to actually move through this in a way that helps them with their nervous system regulation, because when you leave, they still will send that email or do this thing or threaten this thing. And years later, it can still cause that kind of a trigger point. And you'll notice, you'll feel it in your nervous system. And so, and I've seen this with women a lot of times. So if you're experiencing this, it's normal, like it's absolutely normal, but you don't have to let it hijack you and derail you. That's why having those anchors in place are so important. And when I'm working with my one-on-one clients who are going through this, they're either actually exiting, they're in the movements of leaving, they're not thinking about it anymore. They're doing it, but actually doing it is really scary, and they really are having a hard time with that. Or they've left and it's fairly recent, less than a year, and they're still feeling very wrapped up in the past relationship. And so they're still able to feel triggered by whatever that person is still doing. And this can go on for a while. Unfortunately, limiting contact is the key. And then when you do have contact, is having that support person. So with women that I work with, when you work with me one-on-one, you get access to me between sessions for those kind of touch points. If something happens and you're not sure how to deal with it and you want coaching or some guidance, I offer the Voxer voice coaching. So I go back and forth with my clients with the voice messaging, and that's really, really helpful for them. They all tell me how much that is so helpful to have access to me in that way, because you could go to friends and over and over and over again, and you're burning them out. They're starting to not want to hear it. You don't want to bring that too much into a new relationship if you're in a new relationship, to a degree, but you also want to have other people you can go to, so you're not burning out those other relationships. Having a coach that can actually help you. So therapy is great if you want to just go talk and process it through. Coaching is more for, here's your next steps. It's solution focused. It's movement forward. It's, let's not get so wrapped up in the emotion of it and move forward. But then when I'm working one-on-one with clients, we do still go into the emotion. And that's the beauty of merging the therapeutic and the coaching together, which is where I came with the therapeutic coaching term, is because I combine them both. So if you are interested in getting help, if you are at that breaking point of, you're leaving, you're working to get out, but there's just something there that's going on that's freaking you out. You're feeling terrified of actually doing this. You're feeling really alone in this, and you're not sure how to keep going forward, or you've left and you're having a really hard time on the other side with guilt and shame and pain, and you're still having to deal with this person on some level, and they're still wreaking havoc over your life. Get coaching. Get coaching from someone who understands it, who's lived it, who's worked with lots of other women in these situations, so that they can guide you through. And if you're interested in getting that from me, I'm going to leave a link in the show notes here where you can apply for a free 15-minute chat with me, and we'll talk about where you're at, where you're needing coaching, why you're stuck, where you're stuck, and then I can recommend what might be the best way to work with me if we decide to continue with that. So just head to the link in the show notes to book that chat. I look forward to speaking with you. And remember, you have a lot of power, and you do not have to give it to that person anymore. You don't have to. You get to choose. And I say to many women after they've left and they still are acting like they're in it, you left for a reason. You're not in it anymore. And so you don't have to get wrapped up in their dysfunction and their chaos. Let them have their own chaos and their own dysfunction and kicking in the sandbox and their tantrums and whatever they're doing, their crazy making. Let them do that on their own, because you get to choose peace now. You get to choose, how am I going to move forward in a way that protects my peace? I don't need to get into that chaos anymore. And this is where having that logical coaching aspect is really helpful, while also really being emotionally in touch with what's going on so you can move it through. So again, link in the show notes if you'd like to have a 15-minute chat with me to see if we can work together. All right, take care. Thanks so much for tuning in to this edition of the Awakening Women podcast. If you love this episode, please take a moment to share it and leave a 5-star rating and review. If you're ready to take your next step, head to the link in the show notes to sign up for my latest free class. Also, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Awakening Women Official and join the conversation. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you again in the next episode. Take care of yourself in the meantime, and I'll see you online.
Bring Bring excitement into your February this President's Day at the Norm Reeves Superstores. Right now is the best time to get the super prices you deserve. Shop our super selection of vehicles at 11 convenient locations. From West Covina to the Cerritos Auto Square, Huntington Beach to the Irvine Auto Center, Vista and San Diego. You're never far from a Norm Reeves Superstore. Shop America's most popular brands: Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Genesis, Volkswagen, Toyota, and Honda. We have all your favorite new models in stock for the new year. Looking to trade? We want to buy your vehicle. Any make, any model, any year. Plus, enjoy total peace of mind with your purchase thanks to our exclusive price protection guarantee. If you can find the same new vehicle for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. It's that simple. Take a test drive today at the Norm Reeves Superstore location closest to you, like the #1 Honda retail dealer in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square, or shop online anytime at normreeves.com. Per AHM retail sales in 2023, retail is based on sum of regular retail sales.